Welcome to The Dentist Show. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to The Dentist Show.
The Dentist Show.
The Dentist Show. That was a higher pitch voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to go.
typical.
I'm trying to change it up every now and again.
Yeah.
I want to just drop down.
Yeah, my daughter Tegan always makes fun of you.
Oh, thanks, Tegan.
I mean, not fun, but yeah, she just points it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure your kids do the same.
yeah, they do.
Are they still listening?
Every now and again they're listening. They're not as diehard every episode like they once were.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Dad is still boring.
Yeah, same stuff, different day.
I don't want to hear Dad through headphones and hear Dad in real life.
Yeah, like I get enough of his motivational podcasting without a podcast.
I sometimes I think this is probably true actually amongst most people, especially business owners. But I feel like my team sometimes gets the best chase.
Yeah,
You know.
actually, I see that.
Yeah. Well, and
I see your family doesn't get the best chase.
well, it's just
you probably want me to say the same thing about my family.
no, it's just like they get the motivational speeches, they get the time, and it's because I'm paid them, and they're paid to listen to me. You know?
Yeah.
Or my son's like, Dad, I don't care, like I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or whatever, they'd have less attention to the dad because they always hear it. I think.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I think you're right. In many instances, it's the team gets the best version of me.
yeah.
Maybe it's also a level of expectation that's unrealistic. Is when we get home, Raquel doesn't get paid to listen to you.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, or Cassidy's like, gives some pushback on the schedule or an idea other than what I think would be best. And I'm like, well, hey, but over in that building, I'm in charge.
I am the man. Everyone listens to me.
Yeah.
They do what I ask.
Yeah.
You don't.
Even if they don't like it, they do it. You tell me no, I don't want to.
You're complaining
And that's
about me.
wrong.
Yeah.
And you're probably right.
Well, what stinks about our spouses is that for any dentist is you wake up and you go to work. So that's usually your best to you anyways, is you're refreshed.
Yeah.
And then dentistry can have some amazing days. It can be very stressful days. And then that goes home to your spouse, your family.
Yeah.
If it might not be the best for you because you're tired, you're worn out. The team's worn you out, or you said that difficult patients. And so then you get home and you don't want to be bothered. And then your spouse is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like I was hanging out and waiting for you all day, and I don't want to be around you now.
Yeah. So. I struggle in a big way with I've been answering questions all day long.
Yeah.
Why am I answering questions here?
Do not make me make another decision.
Yeah. I'm
Like, what do you want for dinner?
I genuinely don't care.
Just don't ask me.
Yeah. Like,
I know.
we could go without dinner at this point. Like, that would be okay.
I'll have cereal with the kids. You know? But I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be eating more protein.
Yeah, well, we got to talk to Terrence about cereal eating if you're eating cereal.
You know what's funny? You used to when I was a kid, you'd pour it in a bowl and with milk and eat it. And my wife started eating dry cereal when early on in our marriage, and so then you just grab a handful of cereal and pound it. Well, it's like a couple of years ago. I grabbed I was wondering how much cereal am I eating?
Yeah.
So you grab a handful of handfuls and put them in a bowl. You're like
To measure.
Oh, okay. So I'm eating like 5 bowls of cereal for the last 3 hours.
It's just a quick snack.
It's just a quick snack, like just a few bites of Captain Crunch, You're like,
It's so bad.
oh man, I just had like five bowls of cereal without milk.
Yeah, with the coating on it to protect it so it doesn't get soggy, and that's in your body right now.
So bad. And cereal's way better with milk.
Yeah.
I don't even like dry cereal, but I tend to eat a lot of it.
You know what's funny, and I don't have any fact to back this up. So if someone wants to prove this to be true or untrue, I would love it. But back in the 70s or 80s, apparently the tobacco industry got into our food industry so that they could help the food industries become more addictive.
Oh, really?
That's when the American diet shifted in the greatest way was
In the 70s.
yeah, when they tobacco industry changed that. It wasn't so much about marketing as how do we just make our product more
Addicting. Well, they did make it. They made it cartoons where...
Yeah, I mean, they did both,
they
right?
increased marketing, but they made it. And the thing is, it doesn't taste good a lot of times.
Yeah.
Once you, if you go away from all that stuff for a while, you come back. When I was, doing low carb and doing my Ironman stuff, I would have, a it was some dessert, and I was like, that was like so sweet and disgusting.
Yeah, it's like too much.
It's way too much. And now you go and eat desserts on a cruise ship. You're like, they forgot the sugar.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. Well, how'd they forget the sugar in this cake or this?
Yeah.
I forget what Raquel and I were eating. Like this, we didn't even eat it. It's like a scoop. You're like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
But if you would go without sugar for like months, you're like,
You'd think
this
it's
is
super sweet.
amazing. Yeah, this is like perfect.
Yeah, it's actually life in general is relative. That actually kind of can help us segue into kind of what I want to talk about a little bit. It's like, I may have mentioned this a little bit, but I kind of like haven't been feeling like a winner in a lot of ways, like personally, and I've been down a little bit and just more like in my head, like none of it's actually real, right? But it feels real when you're, kind of down and in your head. All you do is change your perspective or step away from some of the negativity a little bit. And all of a sudden it's like a week later, you feel great.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of with the food analogy is, you keep eating garbage. You don't realize how much it makes you feel like garbage.
Yeah.
You step away from the garbage for a time, and all of a sudden you eat that garbage. You're like, "Ooh,
that's gross."
This makes me feel like garbage.
Yeah.
What was it? Back in May timeframe for me, and I think earlier for you, we were working with a company about like, doing a little coaching with us and helping do some leadership development. And we started writing these manifestos, if you will, of like, I kind of went through and like wrote down, and it's a healthy way to do it. And if you always focus on your negative aspects, it's not good and healthy. But it's like line out like some of your either misconceptions about yourself or your self-doubts or things that you're most like affect you subconsciously, and like how you may not be doing things the way you think you should, or right. And so removing those shoulds from your shoulders and start making like statements about who you are and who you want to be. And so we wrote this manifesto for myself, and it's like, the top line is like, I am someone who focuses on the betterment of myself, my family, my loved ones, and my team. And I'd forgotten all about that. I hadn't read it for probably since August of 2024.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I spent a lot of time developing this thing, and it's multiple layers and levels of like, I am someone who focuses on lifetime learning. I want to grow and develop as a family as well as an individual. Like, just like all these things about who I am as an individual and what I strive for. And I took a few months off of not reading it, not reminding myself. And I feel like I got in this cycle of I'm not good enough. The offices aren't producing the way they want to. I'm not talking with my team members in a positive way like I should, or yeah. Well, that's the thing is like it gets to like this should, like I'm failing at the things I should do. And really what it was is I just wasn't doing the things I wanted to do. Right. And so we've talked about Matt a few times on here, but we have this really awesome guy, Matt. And it was kind of funny how it all came together. I've kind of been feeling like this for a little bit, and you knew this because Chase recommended a book for me to read as well.
And he said, "Screw you, Chase. I'm going my own way."
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's a typical Ryan approach.
It's typical. It's typical like father-parent situation. Like
you don't
like,
know nothing.
Yeah, if you tell your son to do something, he's like, "Screw you, Dad," and then
my friend.
Yeah, and then his friend says to do it, he's all in. So anyway, I made the decision to delete like Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and all those things from my phone. I only done it like for 2 weeks now, so I'm not some savior over here that's to my own horn. I'll probably download Instagram again because we use it for our business and stuff. I can't get TikTok back, so that one's gone. I should have sold my phone before I deleted it. But anyway, I deleted those apps, and so I didn't really have the outlet of like if I'm kind of zoning out, just hop on my phone. However, I also get a lot of emails in a day, and most of them I don't really read.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this has been happening regularly or if it's just something that's like LinkedIn like caught you. You don't have any other social media, so now we're going to mark it back to you. I got an email from LinkedIn that said Matt Harrington liked this post.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll open LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to do on my phone.
The only one that will open.
Yeah. I opened it up and it was a super positive post, and Matt wrote something nice about it. And so I liked the post and I liked Matt's post. And like 2 hours later, Matt texted me. He's like, "What are you doing lurking on Indeed?" On Indeed.
Right.
Or not on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're never on there. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I kind of told him the whole process of getting rid of my social media and stuff." He's like, "That's wild."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How you been?" And I'm like, "Not great, man."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Do you think we could like start coaching again?" And like, maybe on one of the mornings we talk about my manifesto. And he's like, "That'd be great."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Also, read this book."
Yeah.
So I threw Chase's book to the side and said, "Gap and Gain, you're out."
You're out. I wasn't reading it anyway,
Yeah.
so it was an easy one to pass on.
Yeah, I wasn't reading it, and it was lack of motivation and desire for sure. It actually is a great book. I'm going to go back to it.
Sure.
But Matt recommended a couple books, and he said, and we put it on the calendar, and this was a Thursday or Friday night, the week before. We put it on the calendar. He's like, "Read this book. It's by Brene Brown. Sorry. And it's The Gift of Imperfections." And I haven't finished the book, so I can't tell you all the details about it, but just the initial like, "Hey Matt, let's put this on the schedule. Let's focus on my manifesto. And then here's a book that'll augment this." Almost the next day, I was already in a better mood.
Oh, that's good.
I was already like looking forward to working on myself and working towards a better me and taking those decisions back, if you will. And so, I mean, we can dive into this more, and I'm sure Chase has a lot you can say about it, but it's like, if you're feeling down, just take the next best step in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you're, find a book, get a recommend, talk to a friend. It's amazing the power of like having someone else's perspective help see your value, your worth and stuff. And in dentistry, we can feel like a loser a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we want to, like, that case didn't go quite as well as I wanted it. That implant's tilted a little distal, or, when I have my 4.5 to 5.0 loops on, that distal line angle's just not quite where I want it to be. And then you have the whole team aspect of it, right? Like, am I meeting the needs of my team? Is my team thriving? Are they happy where they work? Are they a disgruntled employee? And am I giving them the time that is required to help them have a positive environment at work? And then when you're done with work, as we already talked about, are you going home and like, my best self, I left at the office because all day I was making decisions. Yeah. All day I was deciding what's best for a patient's future. And I get home and I'm like, I don't want to decide anything. You just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Right. If you're looking for a good book that'll help you kind of unpack like how to live life like wholehearted and like truly be your authentic self and look at the possibilities that are around us and focus on the good, Brene Brown, Gifts of Imperfection. And when you are feeling down, just text a friend.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of good points. Just do something. Just change a physical thing, like just go outside and scream, or go on a walk, or go and sit against a tree, or just changing your location. Sometimes is all you need. Yeah. And well, sometimes it is just like changing or making one move towards something better is better.
Well, and that's what I think the point of what you're trying to say, and what I think I'm trying to say to a certain extent is like, make the choice.
Right.
When we just let life happen to us, or we let things happen to us, and we just fall into this like lack of choices, we always have a choice. And when we choose to go outside and scream, or choose to go outside for a walk, or choose to text a friend, that one win puts you in a better direction.
Yeah, and we all have seasons of sadness, depression. We're not good enough. We're not cool enough. Stuff like that. We have to go through it, and that's okay. And when you're ready to get out of it, that's a great step. Just do one thing towards different than you're doing now, and that will typically help. And it's with right now, Matt's on our team as a great team. And then we also have the Possibility Co. You mentioned them.
Yeah.
We'll throw a shout out. They're great. And I've had I've had a few consultants and coaches kind of about that's very dentist focused. And unfortunately for him, and maybe fortunately for that company, is it seems like they attract a lot of dentists, which I did not know, but it seems like they're very dentist centric.
Yeah.
But they are more about leadership ability and skill sets and maybe getting you more right. And I told Ryan before, I've been a big fan of Simon Sinek forever.
Yeah.
And it seems like these guys are going to help you implement that type of mindset and that like leadership ability with your team and empower them to take their stewardship and up at the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so,
It's been really cool. The meetings that we've been having with the Possibility Co. and
man, they're all good stuff. And
yeah, I think it's a lot of, unpacking all of these layered either expectations that you put on yourself or self-doubts that you've created throughout your life, and like realizing that like, hey, you are enough.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want.
yeah.
And we can make some really powerful statements about ourselves that will help create that.
Yeah. And I think over time, like we've had the Scheduling Institute and the Dental A team and another person and a lot of like YouTubes and podcasts that helped who we are. And then, which is great. They kind of show you systems and processes to take care of the patients. And like Scheduling Institute, although like a lot of people don't like Jay Geyer, some of his coaching is an unbelievable trainers that come in and train your team some of the best processes. The Possibility Co. is more like, no, that's like, you're the problem. Like,
fix yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing that this book I was reading is like, you only have, one of the statements that she makes is, and I'm paraphrasing this, so I might get it a little wrong with it. You only have the capacity to love another person as much as you have the capacity to love yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. And that hit me so hard. Like when I lose it on my kids or something, it's usually when I'm a place where I'm not good with myself. Right.
Yeah.
Like if I'm frustrated with my wife or something, it's like, it's because I'm not happy with myself. It's because I didn't make it to the gym that morning. So all day I've been feeling like a loser or right. And not making it to the gym that morning doesn't make me a loser. It just means I didn't go to the gym that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Or sometimes my kids will do something that reminds me of mistakes I made in my past. Is like super frustrating. So I get really upset. I'm not mad at them. It's more like, I was going that route and something bad happened. I want to protect you, and it's making me mad that you're not listening to me because I'm trying to protect you. And they're
just taking this big mirror and shining it on Dad.
And I think my son said, "Well, Dad, I'm not you." I'm like, "Good thing you're not."
Yeah,
you know? I'm glad you're not.
Yeah, you got chances to succeed in life, not like this guy.
yeah, just keep doing you, man. That's really helpful for. And we had I've had a couple of dentists reach out through the show or through some colleagues and ask for like some advice about that stuff. And it's like, well, what coaches do you guys recommend? And it's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah,
you know, like there's like, and you can spend like free. YouTube's free, or you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for coaches.
Yeah.
It just depends what you're trying to do and what the end goal is. And we do have a lot of good referrals of people we like and actually some that I would stay away from.
Yeah.
So if you have anything, reach out through DM, through Instagram or website, through email or something. We'll guide you the right route. But anyways, that's great. So Possibility Co. What was her name?
Brene Brown. Yeah. Brene Brown. She studies actually her main focus for many years was studying shame and guilt. And through the study of shame and guilt, she's learned like how to live what she calls a wholehearted life where you really are living to the fullness of who you are as a being. And it's really powerful.
That's really good. Because shame and guilt comes from like people are trying to take power of you. Right? That's how they're going to do that. That's why some churches are really good at having followers because they've shamed them so much that they're going to follow them because they kind of own that person's soul more or less. And not all churches do that. And not all churches mean to do that. Right.
That's the thing is sometimes the teachings themselves are within a really good, loving place and the congregation we take it and turn it into something that's not useful and shameful and guilt.
I was talking to my team, one of the teams, I didn't mean to throw hygienists on their bus. I don't think I did, but it's been fascinating. 4 years ago, hygienists were making like roughly $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Some areas are making 35, some of them they're making 45. And then through COVID, I guess that's five years ago. Holy cow. And then through COVID happened, and then they're all making, so back then, before COVID, a hygienist goals were I want to make $100,000 a year. You know, that was like a number.
Yeah.
And if I hit that number, then I'm going to be so happy. Yeah. And what's fascinating is now almost every hygienist does make that if they work full time.
Yeah.
So my point of bringing this up to them is like, are you happier now? Like, did that number help you see like bliss?
Yeah.
And now like all my worries have gone away, or are you still the same person? And the number did nothing. And one of the hardest times in my life that very people know about is I kept hitting my goals.
Yeah.
You keep hitting your goals and you're like, holy crap, I'm not happy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not any happier when you get like
almost depressed.
A super like a half a day of elation.
I don't think I even got that because you could see like you're going to hit it. So like you're already
pre-prepared to crush it.
There wasn't like a day like you're like, I made it. You know, it's more like I thought it'd be different. I thought it'd be like happier. It'd be a little lighter outside. And it's actually darker because you're like, oh, I got to do more. Like, okay, my goal's got to be higher. I got to do more and more.
In order
to
reach that happiness that I'm seeking, it's got to be more.
A little further away.
Yeah.
So let me get back on that path and like, okay, I need to make $100,000. I need to make $500,000 more than I am now. And you keep hitting it. You're like, okay, so it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the problem.
The number isn't the happiness.
Yeah. And so the team members that say like, I just want to make $100,000 a year. Cool. Let's make it happen. We'll figure we'll get a path there. And just so you know, that's not going to bring you any more happiness.
Yeah. Let's find out the why behind the $100,000. And then if we can make that a reason that is more meaningful, then let's
do it. Yeah. But like money does make life easier and you have more experiences and fun, and it doesn't like change you as a person. And then sometimes it brings out the person you are, and it's the person you don't like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the person you try and like hide or change. And he comes or she comes out like, oh, look at me, how important I am and what I've done. Anyway, so that's a great time to reflect on all that, because we talk about money. We've made a lot of money. We have offices that make a lot of money. We have team members make a lot of money, and nothing would make you more happy or sad. It's not going to be money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, proof in point, like we are doing okay as offices and stuff like that. And I make more money now than I did 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not any happier.
You're not any happier.
I'm
because of the money.
Yeah. It's definitely not because of money. Yeah. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And I just had a pretty decent bout of like just not feeling good. And
depression. Yeah.
And it's because I'm out of integrity with who I want to be.
Yeah.
Not being aligned in 100% with who I want to be is what finds me out of alignment, as dumb as that sounds, which then leads to unhealthy self-thought and things like that. And so, I think just find out what your why is and keep trying to work towards that. And when you slip or fall, say, good. Yeah. Now I get a chance to stand back up and go again.
That's right. And if you're like me and you don't know what your why is and you keep plugging, it's okay too.
Yeah.
You know, like I always don't I don't love that find your why, because it's like in my heart, it's like, there isn't there.
I'm trying to convince Chase that our why is to just retire in Hawaii. And
that's why like when people like, they make fun of people that are so passionate or weird. And like in the depth of my soul, I'm always, and I say out loud, and I'm like, they're so lucky.
Oh, isn't it? You know? Like, it's so funny. Like, we as a society, every single one of us has someone that we will judge for their weird hobby or their weird quirk, and they just talk about it all the time, and so passionate about it. And I look at them, I'm like, ignorance is bliss. Like, I wish I loved something so hard that brought me that much joy to just talk about it with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so envious. Yeah. So that's their why. But you can work on your whys. You can actually, I have found you can copy other people's for a while.
Yeah.
And tell you, but if with the intention of finding your own.
Yeah. Like it's almost like borrowing it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like trying it on first.
Yeah. Looking at people that you admire and trying on their why to see if it fits. Well, if you're like me, that when people say like find your why, I kind of want to say screw you. I've tried, but you can try. So
I'm still trying.
I'm still trying. It's I'm 43 or 2 years old, but I'm going to get there.
So old he can't even remember how old he is.
So old. I look like I'm 60. Anyways, well, that was a good episode, Ryan. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if you haven't gone through this, then you haven't lived life. There's going to be a season of sadness or depression that comes through, and you can't always control it. And there's things you can do to help progress through it quicker.
Yeah. And you can be doing everything right. I mean, what's right, but everything that's like most useful for your life at the time, and still it can sneak up on you. And then you gotta working on being quicker at responding.
Yeah, quicker to get out of it.
Yeah.
You can't change that it's going to come, because sometimes it is just chemistry that gets off. So you can't change it, and bad things are going to happen. And the thing you can do is maybe accelerate the speed it gets through. You get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can help other people through the same things. Just like Ryan, now he shared that with you now, and that affects the 5 people that are listening, you know?
No.
Or the 1,000.
Probably 3 of the 5 people. But maybe 2 of the 5.
Maybe 2. I don't think my parents care. But maybe
Come on.
3 of the 5.
Come on. Mr. and Mrs. Davis.
Yeah. That's right. Well, that's good. Thank you for your time. Thanks for that, Ryan. I'm glad you're finally seeing the light.
Yeah.
And that I am a dad figure, and you won't listen to anything I tell you to do.
Just joking, man. You got me on the path of the right direction, and that was just the seed that was planted.
Start, okay.
So.
I'll take as a win. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe and share and comment on YouTube. I just found out you can't really comment on Spotify or Apple.
But you can comment on YouTube if you want to leave a comment,
or you can review us if you do that, or share, so we have some cool guests like Brady and others that you've seen on here. So
yeah, you can contact us through our website too.
Yeah, you can email us.
Yeah,
and go from there. Anyways, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Dentist Show. We hope that this episode helped you make smiles about more than teeth. To get more resources to grow as a dentist and to learn more about Chase and Ryan, go to thedentistshow.com or just follow the link in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, share with another dentist in your life and help us grow the movement. And be sure to rate and review wherever you're listening.